This is the Coffee Playdate podcast, and I am Dr. Olga Dengar, hospitalist, mom of 3 under 6, and a life coach for women physicians and professionals. On this podcast, I spotlight entrepreneurs and doctorpreneurs who are doing incredible things beyond traditional medicine. You'll hear the real-life stories behind their mindset shifts, the challenges they've overcome, and the practical advice that they share to support aspiring entrepreneurs on their own paths. Welcome to the Coffee Playdate podcast. I have a very special guest with me today, Mr. Kai Shapiro. Welcome.
Hi, thank you, Olga. Thank you so much for having me here. Excited to chat with you.
Before we get started, I have to ask, do you drink coffee? And if so, how do you like your coffee?
I do not drink coffee unless it's like a latte sometimes, but I do drink sparkling water a lot.
Perfect. We're going to play our first game. It's a rapid fire questions game. I'm going to give you a choice between one answer or the other. Just choose whichever one feels more natural to you. You don't have to give an explanation. Here we go. Would you rather work on a new product for an influencer or help an influencer build a brand from scratch?
Work on the product because influencing and having a social media brand or persona or page is a lot of work, and it takes a little magic to create, and not everybody gets it. And it's also like a lottery with the algorithm. So to do it from scratch, it takes a lot. It's like, becoming a famous actor, let's say. So getting somebody who already has the following is much easier, and then you can just create a product, create the marketing machine behind it, and what's going to push the product out there. So that's my answer.
Remember, I said you don't have to give an explanation.
Oh my goodness. The thing about me is that sometimes I don't listen. Not because I don't want to, it's that my mind wanders.
But I loved your answer. There's so much to unpack there. We'll definitely get to that soon. Next question, late night strategy session or attending a social gathering for fun?
Late night strategy session. I'm definitely more inclined to do that. So that's my answer.
Perfect. How about audience growth or revenue growth first?
Revenue growth.
And the last question is fewer, deeper platforms like Instagram or being on every major platform?
Fewer platforms.
Perfect. So the next game is called Take a Sip. It's very similar to the first game, but we both answer the question. And if our answers match, then we take a sip.
Alrighty.
Here we go. Learning 2 more languages or hiring 2 more team members?
Hiring 2 more team members.
I'm going to say learning 2 more languages because it's really hard, but a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
Traveling to 25 countries for work or signing 25 new clients in 1 year?
25 new countries.
Me too. Cheers.
Cheers.
Next question. Fine dining at a restaurant in France or getting street food in Thailand?
Fine dining in France.
Me too. Cheers.
Cheers.
Last question. Would you rather daydream on a beach in the Maldives or watch the Northern Lights in Iceland?
Northern Lights.
Me too, because I've never done it before. Cheers. Perfect. So, Kai, can you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself?
Definitely. I am Kai, as you know. Welcome and hi, everybody. I work with social media marketing, doing launches for influencers, authors, and leading people in different areas. And I travel the world, and I am located in different parts of the world for work and for travel and for different reasons. And I didn't start working on a marketing or working in social media. Before I was a teacher, and I worked with kids, and it was my passion. But then I decided time for a change, and being a creative person, change came, and I grabbed it with my 2 hands, and here I am.
That's amazing. So, Kai, I've known you for a very long time. We actually met over a French program that we both attended in Quebec.
Definitely.
And I have seen you grow throughout the years. But have you ever thought that you would be where you are today, back when you were still teaching?
Definitely not. There was a point when I wanted something different, and I wanted more, and I didn't know exactly where that was going to take me, but I took a step to first move out from Toronto, from Canada, really. And then I got a new job in the Caribbean. And then that was really like a step to change things. And then from there, I'm just moved to Europe and then to other places and taking that first step and then the second, just step after step really led me to where I should be or where I could be. So I never thought that I would be here today, but it happened.
It sounds like it was a very natural progression towards where you are and maybe somewhat unplanned.
Definitely, it was a surprise. The plan really was taking action and trying something new and took a little courage, right? Because it took leaving behind what was sure, a sure job, sure circle of friends, sure support to go into the world and it paid off.
Yes, that's the scariest part is really taking that risk. How did you feel when a new opportunity presented itself?
Felt great because when it's meant to be or when it's supposed to work, it will just flow naturally. I think that just sometimes an opportunity will come or a new project will come your way, and it's important to let it flow. And if it makes sense, go with it and just take a risk and go for it. It takes a little courage and yeah.
I love that. Throughout your entrepreneurial journey, was there a mindset shift that you needed to have in order to progress forward?
Different shifts because first I was working a little bit on social media, even on my own page, but then I realized it wasn't what I wanted to do. So I shifted my thinking to work with other people instead and doing the marketing behind it and doing more the ideas, the creativity behind the scenes, not in front of the scenes. So I had to learn a lot and I had to shift my mentality from being in front of the camera to being behind the camera and use my skills that I had before from teaching, from education, from previous experiences, from different languages I speak to really use that and condense that energy into what I was going to do next. So there's always a shift, and then shifting into having my own company, my social media agency, where not only I am working, I'm also teaching other people or managing other people and also managing and working with the talent that I work with. So you have to have different hats. And I guess all these different hats came from teaching. I would say when you manage a classroom full of kids, then you get the skills as well to manage other things. So it's important to experience life and experience different jobs and be open minded and try new things because one skill could lead to your next adventure.
Yes, it's like you never know which skills will be transferable to your next
Exactly.
entrepreneurial venture.
You never know.
And is there a challenge that you faced along the way, and how did you overcome that challenge?
Many challenges because when you come from a background where there's a structure, there's a system, let's say like teaching, and then you go to working with social media and with content creators or people who have their own brand, and then you have to really adapt and know when to hire new people to help you when sometimes you try to do everything yourself because you have a vision and you really have to feel and also talk to people who have been there before. And there's always the advice I give to people is listen to people who are where you want to be and how they got to be there and follow their advice. And because there will be challenges and how to deal with these challenges and really put things in place to that will support you, like for example thinking ahead what issues could come from a marketing campaign or what could come from a project I'm working on, and really leaning on other people to give you support. I really think that anything can happen. Be prepared. Anything really can happen. So you always have to be prepared because if you stay prepared, you don't have to get prepared.
If you already find the solutions to your future problems, then you're all set, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to do it. When you work for yourself and when you're leading a group of people and when you're working with social media, there's a lot of things depending on you. You really have to think ahead. Sometimes I ask the people who I'm working with, okay, what holes do we have here that we have to fix or to fill before we,
I love that. Is there any other piece of advice that you would give someone else who may be starting out in a similar space?
piece of advice. Really work on communication. Listening is very important. Being flexible is really important. Communication, writing skills, people skills, patience is very important, and being creative. But also, the best advice is really surrounding yourself with smart people, hiring or working with the right people, because that's going to make or break you. You can have the best ideas. You could be super smart, but you cannot do everything yourself. You have to work with others to help you to succeed, to achieve what you want to achieve. And you have to work with the right people. Some people are not a great match, and some people are a better match. I would love to work with people who are smarter than me, instead of people of being me, oh, I'm the smartest in the room. Because when you're working with people who are smarter than you or have a different vision or can contribute something to you and to your business, then you can learn from that. So that's the advice I would give.
And is there a one book recommendation that you'd give our listeners today?
Honestly, I've been reading this book called You Should Talk to Someone. I think that's the title. It's about a psychologist. She recounts her experiences and dealing with her clients and dealing with life, with her own problems. And I would recommend that book because it really puts things into perspective for me when I'm dealing with stress and when I'm dealing with what's really important in life. Because we work so hard and sometimes you lose sight of what's really important in life. And at the end of the day, we all want to live a meaningful life and to be at peace. And there's people out there right now who are battling cancer or who may, who see that their lives are ending and what's really important right now. So that is a book that I really recommend. And the second book is Communication, How to Talk to People. It's the art, I forgot the name, but it's by Chris Voss. And any book by Chris Voss or any work by Chris Voss, I recommend for people who are working with people or any field, how to communicate with people. So Chris Voss.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Kai, for being on the Coffee Playdate podcast. I really enjoyed our chat, and I hope to have
Yes.
you in a future episode. Cheers.
Of course, anytime you are the best. I've also seen you grow so much and really be such an inspiration, with everything you went through in your professional life, really, and achieving all your goals and doing it so amazingly well. So you're always an inspiration. There's not a lot of people who inspire you or you look at it like, wow, she did it or he did it, and you're definitely one of those people. So thank you for being here, for being like a great friend, and also for inspiring everybody.
Thank you so much. That means so much to me. Oh,
But it's true, and kudos, because it takes a special kind of magic to really set your sight on something and make it happen. A lot of people don't, and you have done it. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come here and chat with you.
thank you. That's amazing.
Thanks for tuning in to the Coffee Playdate podcast. This episode is designed to help you stay driven, aligned, build momentum, and take action on your entrepreneurial journey. That's my Dhamma method in motion. If you enjoyed this conversation, hit subscribe and share it with one other person who you think would benefit from it. And when you're ready to live life on your own terms, book a discovery call at coacholgamd.com to see if one-on-one coaching with my Dhamma method is your next move.